Hi, my name is Odera and I'm a change maker. And today I want to talk about activities that have happened in the past in my life that I would definitely see them as very, very positive and can be very useful to you too. So this is a very interesting one for me because it was during the time when I was in high school. And my father was employed by the Teacher Service Commission, Kenya, and therefore that meant that he would go and teach wherever he got posted around the country. And he was at one time posted to a place in South Nyanza, and wherever he went, we had to travel with him as a family. And very often that meant that, of course, many of us would be in boarding school, but during the school holidays would be at home. And my mother, having a large family, didn't have that much time to go to work herself. She was a teacher. So she dedicated a lot of her time to us and to finding alternative ways of making money, apart from being very, very busy with her church and donating time there. But one very important lesson that we learned from both parents was supplementation. You see, you can get paid money or you can earn it from a business and use that to look after your family and to invest if you're able to. Where in cases where you're not making that much money and you are often in dire straits, as often happens with many teachers who have families, and ours was a large and still is was a large family. You needed to find other ways to also survive successfully as a family. And what my mother started to do was to involve herself in activities that would make sense. And the first one was keeping chickens, and that would then supplement the meals that we would get. So the reason why I'm talking about South Nyanza was because some really interesting things happened. I remember as a young girl, we went to live in housing that was quite close to the chief's camp, and there were other families who also lived in the same estate. And it was hilarious half the time because the chickens that were around that area were often being terrorized by one big cock. And that cock we started to call him Captain Hook because it actually had a big hook at the back of the legs. And he also had this really strange beak, and he would attack other birds. And he wouldn't just attack, especially the male birds, but he would rip their necks. It was usually very, very beastly watching that. So my brothers named him Captain Hook. And one fine day, my mother, who had only had hens, was really excited, and she said, "Come and see, your dad has gotten for me a big cock." And he was actually a huge rooster. When he walked, the ground would shake. Literally, honestly, I mean it. It would just go boom, 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 boom when he's running. So we found it so interesting. I think he made us even more excited about keeping chickens, because the biggest problem with young people is, yes, your mom says I'm keeping chickens, but you're the ones who get to be sent all the time. You've got to feed them, you've got to make sure they're fine. most of the time anyway, our chickens would would be walking around. They are not chickens that you keep in a hedge. However, there were lots of eagles around and vultures, so we had to be really careful as well. So when you're playing around, playing outside, you're also watching out for birds of prey. When our big cock arrived, there was silence in the compound. Now this happened like once or twice, 2 days, 3 days. There would be, you would see Captain Hook coming around and, making some funny noises and checking out this new guy, and we suspected he was being told, watch out, don't joke around with us, here we have just one king, and the king is me. Eventually it was going to happen. You know what's coming next. There was one major fight, and nobody dared go anywhere near those birds. A couple of times somebody tried to pour water on them. It didn't help. They just moved out of the way and continued. And they fought continuously, on and off, for 3 days. Eventually Captain Hook lost. And he was literally killed from exhaustion. So we won. Of course, my brothers were really excited about this and were like, yes, yes, So the new king of the compound was now ours. Yeah. But those were the lighter moments, but we really enjoyed the fact that anytime that we needed supplementation for protein, we were able to get from the chickens, free-range chickens. That's just an example of some of the things that we know help a lot of families who are trying to find ways to supplement. What are you using to supplement your diet or to improve things in your life? Just think about it. I'll give you another example. And this is more not in Africa, but my daughter, who is a master's student at the moment at university, is also supplementing her diet. And she's doing this by growing vegetables in a community garden. And it started off with her just growing planting some seeds in pots in her apartment. Got really excited about that, benefited from it, and then moved her ideas into the garden. Having already seen my son do it a couple of times, but she was really, really consistent. And as a result, she has been able to supplement her diet, and it definitely makes a difference. The interesting thing about planting is that plants often take care of themselves. You don't have to be there all the time, fussing around them. And definitely for many people who think, why should I do that when I can just go and buy vegetables from the market or from the supermarket? The reality is, very often the vegetables and produce that include fruits that you get at the supermarket have already been sprayed with something that should keep them fresh. So they look fresh, but definitely you would be better off eating something that does not have any chemicals on it, and you will find an immediate difference in your health. Believe you me, I promise you that. So think about what you could do that would easily supplement your survival, and I've just given you two that could be very valuable, especially at this time when there's so much, the pandemic is happening, and lots of people are stuck at home. um, Jobs are not easy to come by, and yet you're there, your children are there too. These are things that start off as hobbies but can eventually grow into lifetime habits that will help you in the end. So get back to me, write something, let me know what you feel about what I've just said, and also share what ideas you have and what you're actually doing to supplement um, areas of your life, you for you and your family. Don't forget to like and share amongst your friends so that we can get to have a bigger conversation. You take care. Have a good week.